G'day guys, today we're checking out the Euphoria by Mercurial, and I just want to say before I start this video that I am endorsed by these guys, but proudly so. These guys do amazing amp simulators, and the Euphoria is definitely no exception. I also want to say a massive thank you to the Mercurial team. They've been very patient with me. I know a lot of you guys already know that I've had a wrist injury for a while, and I didn't really play for 2 years, and I started playing about a year ago. I've just kind of been trying to get my chops back up so that I'm at kind of like a half decent level. So yeah, thank you to Mercurial for being very patient with me and doing these kinds of videos. And there's definitely a lot more to come on their other products. But yeah, let's get stuck into the Euphoria. This amp is based off a Bogner Ecstasy. And I don't know about you guys, but being able to acquire a $7,000 boutique amp head for about $80 American, it's a no-brainer for me. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. Hey buddy. Okay, so we've got the Euphoria open. I'm just going to start out on a clean tone and we'll work our way up to a more distorted tone. We've got the green channel, that's the clean. It's got this boost here, low and high. We've also got a pre-EQ, which is, and I believe is for normal or neutral. And then the B1 and B2, it's for bright 1 and 2. When you first open this up, there's a lot of switches and it could be a little bit intimidating, but once you know like what they all do, it kind of just opens up a ton of possibilities for tone shaping. So I'll just play some stuff and we'll go through some of the settings and yeah, see what kind of sounds we can get. Something I really like on this amp is it's got these excursion switches over here. And basically to me, what it does is it kind of controls the low end and the low mids. So the TLM, they stand for tight, loose and medium. And I really like to have it on the tight setting. So while this knob is down like this, it just sounds like it normally would. As you bring this up, it starts to push the lows and the low mids down. Just gets rid of that low end rumble that you really don't need. We'll put it onto the normal pre-EQ. Bright 1. And bright 2. You can hear there's a pretty big difference between yeah, the normal and the bright. That's pretty cool. We'll put the boost on. Get a slight kind of crunch from that. Generally when I record clean guitars, I actually like them a little bit crunchy. So I might have it on something like this. Take the boost off and we'll put a bit of yeah, probably not going to hear a lot of that low end coming through because of the excursion we've got it set on. We'll put it to loose and you're really going to hear that low end come out. I'm going to put some reverb on. This is a really nice reverb, I really like this. delay on. So there you go, you can already see there's so many things that you can do to shape your tone, and that's just, you know, channel 1. We've also got all these like pedals and stuff over here. The possibilities are just endless. Now we've also got a wire over here. It's going to be a bit hard to do with just one hand, now I imagine you can set this up with a MIDI controller. If you've got like a little expression pedal that connects to MIDI, I'm sure you could use that. And you could also probably automate this as well, rather than, you know, trying to sit here and do it with your hand. But that's so cool to have a wah pedal in a plugin. So we're going to move on to the blue channel now, and I really like this for like a medium gain kind of like pop punk kind of rhythm kind of thing. As you can see, there's a ton of switches over here. These controls here is what controls the blue channel as well as the red channel, but it does keep all your settings if you switch back and forth. So that's really good. We've also got a PLEXI mode, which is really cool. We'll go through them. I'll turn all these on and off and just kind of hear how it sounds. It does some really cool like vintage rock kind of sounds. So we might actually put it onto PLEXI mode first and crank it. Now while we're on PLEXI mode, the structure and boost don't do anything. Now when it's not on PLEXI mode, I like to have the volume about there, maybe the gain down a bit. Boost on. I'm going to put an overdrive on, and we've got quite a few overdrives, this one probably being my favorite. Alright, so let's move on to channel 3, the famous red channel. pre-EQ set to normal. Now set to bright too. Now, as you can see, this channel actually starts off pretty tame, but you've also got, besides the structure and boost, you've also got the channel 3 mod, which is the Cameron mod, and this kind of adds a little bit more gain and like upper mids. So that's really cool. So I'm just going to engage the structure and the boost, and you get a pretty ballsy sound out of it. Now would actually be a good time, if we go back to channel 1, try out the distortion. So this is obviously a metal zone. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely had one of these when I was younger. I never thought I'd get one of these in a plug-in either. So besides all these little pedals that you get, you also have your own little cab section, which you can use the cabs that come with it, or you can load your own. Alright, so now that you've heard it on its own, we're going to listen to it in the context of a mix. Now, I use this specific simulator on nearly all the songs of my EP Days Past, so we're going to open up that project now and see what I've done to achieve the tones for that song. Alright, so I've got the project open. So the rhythm guitars, so we're on the blue channel, volume at about 11 o'clock. Bit of gain, and we've got the overdrive pedal on to kind of just add some upper saturation. We've got a modern vintage 30 and 2 SM57s because obviously one is not enough. And that's pretty much all there is to that. There's a little bit going on in the EQ, but not a whole lot. I find it does have a lot of low mids in it and just a tiny bit of compression. So that's it for the rhythm guitars. Now let's take a look at, this is probably my favorite tone out of the entire EP, and even though it's like clean guitars, I'm just really happy with how these turned out. Just for the type of song and the type of part this was, this tone just turned out really, really good for it, and yeah, I just really love it. So we're on channel 1, and I've got the boost on, which adds a fair bit of gain for something that's clean. So I've got the gain way down, but on the bright 1 setting, so it's not too bright but not too muddy. And because it is it's a fairly kind of glassy kind of clean, I've got the treble down a fair bit. And then I've got the excursion set to tight, and at about 11 o'clock. There's not really much to this clean, but one thing I really love about this plugin, as I said before, is the reverb. It just, I don't know, there's something about it that, like, it doesn't sound like, you know how some reverbs you open up and they just like sound cheesy as. It just, yeah, it just sits nice. Then we've got a bit of EQ going on, kind of similar to what we had on the rhythm guitars. And I got this little tube plugin on as well. 25% mix, 100% drive, and got the output down a bit. So, and a little bit of compression going on. So that's the clean guitars in the bridge. We've got the lead guitars. It's pretty much similar to the rhythm guitars. The rhythm guitars had a bit of the mids kind of taken out on the amp sim, whereas on the leads, we've kind of added the mids. And I don't usually use the exact same amp sim for both lead and rhythm guitars. I find that it's kind of hard to separate the two, but for this, I managed to be able to kind of blend them nicely without one getting lost or getting too muddy. So yeah, this worked really well. So the volume is roughly the same as what it was for the rhythm guitars, probably a little bit more gain. We haven't got the boost on, and we have got the bright one on the pre-EQ. Excursion set to medium, and then for the cabinet, I think we've got a different cabinet here. Yeah, the modern G12M, and that's probably why it kind of helps kind of separate the two from sounding too similar together. Got 257s again, and yeah, that's kind of basically it, besides a bit of EQing on that. And then we have a bit of leads in the bridge, but that's basically just, I think, the lead guitars maybe copied over, and then kind of like a radio frequency kind of EQ move on that one. And yeah, so that's all the guitar tones out of Days Past. Like I said, super stoked with them. This plugin just really fits with what kind of style I play. It was really easy to dial in these tones. So there we go, guys. That is the Euphoria by Mercurial. Go check them out. Like I said at the start of this video, they do amazing things, and you can also get this as just a trial. I think you can use it basically as long as you want, just there'll be a bit of silence every couple of minutes. I could be there for hours just tweaking this thing. It's so much fun. Yeah, I spent a lot of time doing this video, kind of going off on a tangent. I think I'm gonna have to edit out a lot to make it a more digestible size. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.